Teaching people how to do something is always fun because you don't know what you're going to get. Growing up, I was a big swimmer, so when my brother asked me to teach him freestyle and how to swim fast, freestyle fast, I decided why not, considering I have substantial background in it. So we ventured off to our local aquatic center to gain access to a lap swim pool one day. Where to begin, I thought. The first thing I told him before you even get into the water is to start off the block. I explained that this is how you're going to get the momentum going, and it's one of the most important parts of the race. He laughed because that is something so small in a big race like a 500 freestyle, which is 20 lengths of the pool. Either way, extremely important, especially if it's a 50-yard freestyle, and every second counts because it comes down to hundredths of a second. So I told him, you got to put both hands down on the edge of the block, along with your toes, one foot with one foot, and then the other foot behind your body. And when the whistle or horn blows, you better be ready to give it all you got off that block. So I told him with all his power in his hands and his feet, he's got to turn that twitch muscle and divert it into straight power in his legs, in his arms, and then while in midair, almost be like a missile, with the biceps tight to your ears and with your hands pointed out in front of you and your body and your legs as tight as they can be, so you slide right into the water without a splash. So we tried it until he got the general gist, a few belly flops here and there, but he eventually got it. And then we began to go in depth in the actual stroke, beginning with the initial entry into the water. So I explained, once you hit the water, you better be ready to kick those legs, and I mean fast. Because once you get to the surface, you want to be already booking it down the lane. He knew the general idea of the stroke, but he wanted a more in-depth detail. So I told him, once you start your stroke, you got to keep the flow and the rhythm going, and keep it all in one constant motion. I broke it down into steps. Step one being starting with your elbows. When the elbows come out, your elbow is going to make a 90-degree angle with the elbow, with itself aiming to the sky. And once you bring the elbow and your hand from the back of your body to the front of your body, your elbow will automatically move with the rhythm of your stroke. The second step is the underwater portion. Once that hand, I told him, gets to the front, you want to make sure that hand is tight and pointed straight, and slice it right into the water and stretch as far as it will go till you're pretty much tilted on your side. So if your right arm goes and your body tilts to the left, basically. Easy enough, he thought. And then with your hand, I told him you got to make a cup as if you're holding water in your hand. Just one hand. And what this does is it allows you to pull as much water as you can under the water as opposed to having your hand wide open. Now, when bringing your hand from the front of your body to the back, you want to make an S motion in the water, bringing your hand to the outside of your shoulder, back in towards your stomach, and bringing it back out again towards your lower back. He asked me why this was better than just bringing your hand down and continuing on with your stroke, and I told him, as the expression goes, you get the most bang for your buck. In other words, you grab much more surface area, so it's a lot more efficient than just grabbing a little bit of water and going through the stroke a lot faster. And once the hand gets to the lower back, I explained, you gotta flip that hand almost like you're splashing the guy behind you. And then you do the stroke all over again. That's that. In all of this, he asked me, do you ever breathe? And chuckling, I said, yes, that is all just part of the stroke and the more technical aspect of the stroke. I told him if you swim fast enough, your body will create a little pocket where your head is, so if you breathe to the side, you won't be breathing in the water, and you won't have to breathe up to the sky to get air. So this way your stroke stays continuous without losing a lot of speed. So when exactly do you breathe, he said, and I explained, let's say you like breathing on your left side. As soon as your right hand is extended as far underwater as it goes, and your body is tilted, and you start to being in the S motion, you take that breath and you keep going. Lots to think about, he said. And I told him, let's try it. And after we practiced for about an hour, he got the hang of it and actually told me it almost all comes naturally.